What's going on, everybody? RC Propaganda here. I'm on my workbench and I got the Kraton out, and it kind of just occurred to me that I haven't really done maybe an update or kind of given any news on my current setup. Now, I did just pick up some new things for the Kraton, so I figured this would be a good video to kind of just go over my current setup on my V2 Kraton. So first, what I picked up today, just got some rear RPM arms and these little mud guards that you can get for them. Keep some stuff out of the rear shocks and all that. I thought that these would be good. They're not very expensive. Now, I have not broken any arms on my Kraton, which is pretty crazy because I've taken some gnarly crashes. Well, I didn't break any in the rear anyway. I did break one front arm, and I switched right to RPM in the front already. So that's why I went with these. I just wanted to put something else on my order for the free shipping, so I wound up picking those up. The main concern of why I had to order some new stuff was I broke a wheel. Proline Racing. These are just Badlands. These are regular 3.8-inch tires, but I broke one of those in half in one of my latest videos. I'll put a link up here to that video. You can see the crash. Snapped one of these wheels right here and like right here. So I'm pretty sure that's all it was. Not 100% sure. So I did go along and I got some rear hinge pins just in case I bent one of the pins. So I got those. And I got some turnbuckles. I'm starting to kind of build up some spares. I want to have like a whole little extra container full of Kraton spares and Revo spares in the future. I have more extra Revo parts lying around just because I've ordered stuff that I didn't need and stuff like that. But the Kraton and the setup's easy. I can always tell exactly what I need on this. So that's just some of the pickups that I have here that I'm going to be putting on the truck. I'm not really going to go over putting those arms on the truck. You just pop off the rear end and you probably just slide the pins out. This probably videos on there is super simple, nothing crazy. Another thing I did want to touch on in this order, from my last video, I had broken a Vanquish tip on my 1.5 millimeter, and just to confirm, it does say right here on the package, made in Taiwan, and I broke one of my tips as well that I had. I think they were cheap ones, so I did go ahead and I picked up an MIP one made in the USA, baby. So that is good. Nothing against Vanquish. I'm not really sure why they do that. I thought that they machined all their wheels in-house and all that. So I don't know why they're not making their own tips. I'm not sure if there's a process to heat treating the tips or if they do anything like that. I did do machine shop in high school way back in the day. So I do know a little bit about machining and stuff like that. So I have a little knowledge on how this stuff is made, and it just kind of seems weird if they're machining stuff that they don't make their own tips. But I have no idea if these have any like heat process to them to strengthen them, or is it just I think this is drill bit steel that MIP uses from what I was told, something like that. But let's open this little thing up and get a look at it. I need some scissors. Doobie-doo. Okay. So, sweet. Comes with a nice MIP sticker. Let's get a look at the little bit. Say, now this is a nice one too, because I got the shorter one. All my other ones are really long. One thing I do want to check is wherever those tips came from, these ones that I have here, they don't fit into the chuck on my driver. I have to use this adapter and then stick those in the adapter because of the length or something. They fit, but they don't lock in. So let's see if, yeah, see? None of these lock into my driver. Oh, there we go, I got it. Nice, that one locks right in. Sweet! Now I'll get all new MIP speed tips as well. I've kind of been on a tool kick. That's why I did that last video. I need to get some new tools because it does make things nice. Oh man, I'm super pumped. That locks right in there. I don't have to use this adapter anymore if I get a new set. And this one's not too long, but I'll probably get some longer ones as well. So that is that. looks nice. I just want to see something on the paper here. Let's see what it says. Clean wrench, insert, wrap, handle, shrink tube, caution. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about interesting. Not sure what that was saying, but yeah, there's nothing really to know, but yeah, these things are sweet. I wonder if you can put it on another handle. Maybe that's what it was saying. I don't know. But let's get into this crate, and I'm gonna just time lapse these rear arms, get those things on there, and then we'll go over the current setup on my V2 Kraton. So let's get to it. Well, alright, now we got the new arms installed in the back, and I'm ready to go over the truck and just kind of give you guys a little breakdown of what I'm running and maybe some theories I have behind certain parts and what I think and what upgrades I'm currently looking to do to my truck. So we'll just pop my lid off. One thing I do like, I am still running the original body that came with my truck. I use these little clear pieces that I got from, I think these came with a Slash or something, and I just took my body reamer, made the holes a little bigger. They fit over my posts, and then it creates a lot more surface area for the clip, and it doesn't really pull, although it is kind of taking a little bit of a beating. The back here is starting to tear a little more than I'd like, but I have had this body for a while, so I am looking to upgrade and make something better. So in the back, I did some drywall tape, and then I used some white Flex Seal and just sprayed it all up. And also I put the pieces of felt in here, and those really grab around the cage, having two here and here. And I think that's a lot of why my body's been holding up. It's pretty sturdy on the top. So that is it with the body. We'll move into my truck. Currently rocking a Hobbywing Max 8 system with the 2200 kV motor. Just swapped to a 15 tooth pinion. I was having some issues, can't really do backflips in the air, which is a little concerning. My Revo just flips super simple. This truck's never really done that, so most people said just up your pinion. Last time I did that, it seems like my car was shutting down a lot, so I don't know if it was getting too hot or what, but I'm going to do some temp testing and examine that issue and see what's going on there. So that's what I have for a power system. I got the Savox 1230 SG servo in here. Not waterproof, but I tend not to run in too much water or submerge, so it's been holding up. I do have the Hot Racing servo mount in there, because that I know was a big weak spot. That's like one of the first things most people replace, and that's not too expensive, and it helps out a lot. Moving to the front, I got Techno Orange Springs. Not sure what weight oil, because when I set these up it was a while ago, but you can see I got very nice travel, and then the dampening is really nice. We have RPM arms, upper, lower, and in the front for a bumper I got the T-Bone Thrasher. This is like the second version, so it's got the plate here that bolts to the front, and then this bolts in, and it is really solid, but it does have a little flex, and I like the styling of it. The way it sits up there is really nice. Also, I do have the Hot Racing diff box up there because I just kept having issues with the factory one, so I swapped to that aluminum one. Tires, I decided to go with Proline Badlands. These are the smaller ones. I do have the MX38 ones, and they're just way too big for the crate, and it really takes away the nimble feel and handling of this truck, in my opinion. So, also it was running super hot when I had those on right away because they're so large. so you obviously probably seen I do have an M2C racing chassis on here. I knew the factory one was having bend issues, and I knew I wanted to start bashing hard, so for the price you really can't beat that. I would highly suggest that if you are in the market for one, or if you're a serious basher and you have an Arrma, the chassis 4mm thick, really solid. They recommend not even really, you don't really even need to run a tower brace if you have this chassis and quality shock towers. I am still rocking the shock towers that came on the truck. They've held up. I mean, I've taken some pretty gnarly crashes, and so far it's been good. Now with that chassis, you definitely want to run your aluminum chassis supports. This is a hot racing one. I still have the factory one in the front, but I've been taking it into consideration, so I haven't really been pushing it too hard, but I will upgrade that right away. It's not very expensive, but that M2C racing chassis is definitely a really quality piece. I got a little skin on the bottom, which is great. You can see here it's getting mangled. I just need to add some bumpers to the rear here to kind of protect that. And I do have RPM arms. You saw I just installed those with the little guards on them, and I really like that. I think it looks good. It's simple. They should hold up really well. Hoping to not have any problems with those. And I do have for suspension in the rear some really heavy oil. You can, I mean, this thing is pretty stiff. And I do have the orange springs again. I guess that's pretty much everything that I have going on this current truck. My vision for it is definitely not met yet. I need a few more things. I'm going to go with some voltage hobby parts, and I will start to really be able to send it. Things that you, well, actually one more thing before I move on to that is I do have an Outcast battery tray. I had no issues fitting it onto my M2C racing chassis. I just took the factory piece here, and I think I'm only missing one screw. I had the holes aligned up right and everything on my chassis. I'm not really sure. It's on there solid, haven't had any issues. I don't run super heavy packs in it, so it's not getting too much force. That is part of my philosophy for bashing. Is see a lot of people that just stick giant bricks in here for the run time. I don't want all that extra weight. I rather buy more batteries, and smaller maw is going to be cheaper anyway, so the cost isn't really an issue. For me, it's all about the weight. I want to keep the weight down on my truck, so I run two 3000 milliamp 3S packs as of now, because when I was looking into 6S bricks, it's more expensive for one battery than it is to get two, and your one battery, you got one connector, one, you know, I didn't understand why the pricing on those 6S batteries was so high, but whatever. I just rock two 3S's still. If anyone has a reason why you would want to run just one battery, I think I've heard something about the way the power comes through the wires, it is a little more efficient or something. I'm not 100% sure, but that is a question I have. So if anyone knows, put that in the comments. Diffs are shimmed. I got 60K in the rear. I just swapped out to only 10K, I believe, in the front, because I was having issues, I thought, with the backflip issue, that maybe there was just too much power going to the front wheel, so I wasn't getting a good rear, you know, rotation. So I went ahead and did that. Like I said, I am looking to upgrade to some voltage hobbies stuff, but there's really not that much left. Once I get that stuff, this truck is going to be really solid and a real beast. It's just been a solid truck overall. I do have a Revo. You can see that in some older videos that I have. It's been winter, so I want to rebuild it. It needs bearings and stuff, so I've just been really bashing with the Kraton a lot, and the thing has just really been solid. I run this Spectrum DX5 Rugged in there. It's a pretty nice radio. It's my first aftermarket radio. I did have the little piece for the lanyard break off, which I was kind of pissed about, so I put a little GoPro one on there. Hopefully it sticks pretty good, because it did fall off when that lanyard broke, but you know, whatever. It's rugged, supposedly. Trying to think what else I got done to this truck. I mean, what you see really is what you get. I don't have anything else, but that is my Kraton in a nutshell. I don't really need to do too much more explaining. I guess one thing I would like to upgrade to is the newer version shocks with the bigger shafts. But so far I haven't bent any one of these. This one might be. It was hard to tell, but I don't have any of the parts and I want to rock it. But when you go up and down in suspension, I think if it was bent I would get more binding. I'm just getting a little spring rub on the cases, which I don't like. But other than that, that is it. I do have other things I want to test with it. I want to go to a different motor setup with the low KV with the giant pinion. I see a lot of people doing that, and I think that that would be a great setup. So I'm kind of looking to upgrade that in the future, that, you know, for the power, and maybe put this system in the Revo, or I don't know, have an extra system, or get another truck. Who knows? But yeah, that's my Kraton build. If you got any questions, just throw them down in the comments. I'll answer them the best I can. But there's not enough you can say about Arrma. People love them, and they are definitely great trucks. This thing has really changed my views on bashing after I was having some not so good luck with my Revo initially when I started getting back into the hobby, because breaking out for the day is no fun when you only have one truck. So if you gotta take one, this thing is solid when I bring this with me. Last time I went out, I took a huge tumble. I'll put the link to that video up here somewhere. And it took it. The only thing that broke was actually, I don't know where I put it, it was a Proline wheel. It cracked it right in half, so can't really complain about that. I know in that fall, if that was my Revo, it would have been a little rough, so. Alright guys, that is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. As always, hit the like button, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.